Hello and welcome to another cast. Starting off we have Impregnable playing as the Lord Commissar. In mid we have Police King playing as the Warlock. And finally we have Oak Tree, also known as Stigma, playing as the Lictor Alpha. For red team we have Oppai Dragon Emperor playing as the Plague Champion, Smithy playing as the Techmarine in mid, and cptPiterBlood RU playing as the Lord General. The map is Events of Stronghold, one which was added in 2.4. Starting off, everyone just going in for some capping, and while they're doing that, we'll talk about the map. Maps are actually going to get some changes in 2.5. They actually moved the power from mid over to the actual side instead. Among some other changes, you may have seen some of them on stream, but there'll be more upcoming streams about 2.5 and some more news about that as it gets a bit more finalized. Sentinel already here now, poking down some heretics. We'll take down one model here. Plague Champion and some CSM trying to do what damage it can to the Sentinel. Sentinel being extremely annoying to actually deal with early game. Lictor Alpha over here on the right hand side is actually going to get a special here on some guardsmen, knocks them all around once again. Doesn't actually kill any models yet. In fact, it won't even kill any models whatsoever. Does do quite a lot of damage, does get a model killed there on the guardsman squad. Getting quite a lot of experience here. Because it's killing the guardsman here by itself, it does actually gain all the experience rather than it being shared amongst its Tyranid units. Sentinel here does actually have Stomp. Doesn't look like it is available since Plague Champion is charging in here by himself. Although Stomp looks like it will get used here. It will get used here onto the CSM. I suppose it's not worth it using on a Plague Champion. As much as the Plague Champion can be very annoying to deal with in melee, he only does 8 melee DPS, which is absolutely nothing really. Even Guardsmen will be able to tank 8 melee DPS, especially compared to the amount of DPS Heretics or CSM will be able to lay out. The single CSM model will actually lay out more DPS than the Plague Champion in melee, but the Plague Champion does actually have a melee charge unlike the CSM. CSM actually getting away with one model. There's a lot of bleed here for Oppai Dragon Emperor. He's actually lost quite a few Heretics, lost 2 CSM models, actually quite expensive losses early on. Eldar in mid actually getting backed away. Police King is left with only some Dire Avengers nearby to actually defend his power. Tactical Marines and Techmarine focusing down Dire Avengers, only the scouts are focusing down the power. Meanwhile, Lord General is struggling against Lictor Alpha. He's actually lost his VP, but it looks like he's going to go reclaim it now. Lictor Alpha, very annoying in the early game to actually force off a Guardsman squad and actually tilt a couple of Guardsman models. Tactical Marines backing away here. Banshees are here. Shotgun Scouts are actually capping the VP, so Tactical Marines and the Techmarine going to back away to those Shotgun Scouts since they have no melee counter right now, no bionics on that Techmarine, so nothing to actually stop any melee just yet. But the Scouts are a little bit low here, only on 200 HP, 2 models as well. And Tyranids on their way mid. Banshees will not be able to actually get into the fight. They do try and run forward, will get forced away. Scouts do lose a model. The Techmarine will go down here, gets pulled in there from the Lictor Alpha, and gotta be careful of that flesh hook ability. Does also have the pheromones and the adrenal glands upgrade. Lictor Alpha will not have a flesh hook available to interrupt this Devastator squad, but we do see pheromones getting cast onto the ground. Does reduce range damage for the units who do get affected by it, and does allow your units to reinforce, but it doesn't look like he's actually reinforcing his homogons here. They were not actually gaining any extra models, and he will lose a squad trying to run up and brute force that Devastator squad down. Tactical Marines here could lose a model here to the Lictor Alpha. Flesh hook is on cooldown, but it doesn't look like the Tactical Marines were low enough to actually lose any models. We do have Impregnable coming in here. Does actually have double Sentinels. Havocs will get interrupted there by the Lord Commissar, and Heretics are going to target. Lictor Alpha will be able to take down these Heretic models very easily and gaining a lot of XP, because again he is killing the models by himself without any support, and you do have to share XP if you do share the kill. There's one Sentinel though for Impregnable is getting a little bit low. We need to pull that out of their CSM, trying to force melee onto these guardsmen. A Blight Grenade will actually land. Doesn't actually do the bulk of the damage to the guardsmen, but will be close enough to actually poison the guardsman squad. If the Blight Grenade does actually land on top of the guardsman squad, it does do grenade damage on top of the poison damage as well. And if it ever does land on your squad, you should just retreat straight away to reduce the amount of damage that you take from the poison, since that is piercing damage. Now the Plague Champion here could go down. His Catchins do Shotgun Blast, and Plague Champion doesn't actually retreat away. It looks like the Chaos player was focusing elsewhere. Havocs are set up here. Devastators are also going to try and push up forward with the protection of those Havocs as well. Warlock with an Immolator as well, going to be very good against setup teams, and Techmarine will not be able to build turrets, or will be very risky to build turrets against a Warlock with an Immolator. An Immolator will be able to burn down a turret unless you have 2 units next to the turret to repair. I don't think 1 is enough, 2 is enough. But also if the Eldar does get ranges, you can also use the Kinetic Pulse to knock away repairing units in order to actually confirm the turret kill. Now the Immolator doing a lot of damage here against these Devastators, very nice use of it here. Techmarine is actually using this energy shield as well, and also trying to melee down the energy shield by the looks of it. No Bionics on Techmarine, none of that bonus damage that you gain from it. Lictor Alpha here, still level 1 surprisingly. He's actually going in here alone. There is no detection here for the Lord General, does need to be a bit careful. Heavy weapons team here, there's also a multi-last turret as well protecting the army here. Needs to be careful. Havoc's in this building here, going to be very annoying to get rid of. There is no anti-building here for Impregnable. Well, nothing that would be enough to force away the Havoc straight away. No flamers, no. Well, flamers are pretty much what IG have. They also have the incendiary shells from their spotters, but Impregnable doesn't actually have any spotters. Ooh, Blight Grenade was about to get thrown there from the Plague Champion, but a special from the Lord Commissar with that Power Sword. Lead by example will actually knock the Plague Champion down before he can throw that Blight Grenade. He was mid animation as well, and that Blight Grenade would have hurt, but that special will save the day there. Warlock will go down, does actually cast an Immolator on these Devastators, and they will take a bit of damage here, but it was not worth the death of the Warlock, as the Devastators are still going to carry on pushing forward and will set up and protect a Generator Bash here. Havocs were actually interrupted, the Catachins were executed. Oh, and Reliable does actually do damage to units inside the building, but with the extra 100% damage buff, it does actually affect abilities as well, and you can see that he is not happy about the amount of damage that Unreliable did. Now old Smithy does actually push in. Lictor Alpha is here, and he will get a special hit onto these Devastators. Devastators all very low, but Shotgun Blast comes in. These Devastators are so low, and it could be enough XP for the Lictor Alpha to actually level up. With Flesh Hook 1, he is so close. You can barely see the gap between the bar and the end. But Lictor will rely quite heavily on levels. No weapon upgrade. A weapon upgrade would help him level up a bit quicker since he'll do more damage. Very nice combination here. Shotgun Blast and Unreliable will force away the Heretics, nearly losing all the models. If it wasn't for that Aspiring Champion, the squad would have probably been wiped. And now they're forcing melee onto the CSM. Stomp goes down and he catches out one model, Catachins. We do see the global speed boost from the Warlock, giving speed boost to all units, including allied units as well. Warlock is also pushing in against the IG player over here. There's no actual gens being built here for blue team. Immolator goes down, lands perfectly onto these Guardsmen. These Guardsmen are upgraded with plasma guns, the others are upgraded with some flamers as well. And both Guardsmen squads having to retreat away. These Guardsmen, although very low at 150 HP for the squad, they do actually have 9 out of 9 models. And you see that Stigma going for a very melee heavy army here. Gene Sealers, double Homogons on the Lictor Alpha. There is actually no ranged whatsoever. Among that, the only ranged ability would be the Flesh Hook and Pheromones from the Lictor Alpha himself. And we do actually have double missile launchers coming in here for these double Sentinels. Going to be very annoying for Chaos to deal with since missile launchers are long range, and these missiles, the frag missiles, actually do extra damage against heavy infantry. And we do actually have a Blood Crusher coming out for Dragon here, but that Blood Crusher is actually going to struggle a lot against double missile launcher Sentinels. You can also switch to the crack missiles as well, which is effective against vehicles. And with 2 Sentinels, the Blood Crusher will get kited around, or even 1 Sentinel is actually enough to kite around. Wraithguard in mid, going to force away these Devastators. Blood Crusher is actually on its way to mid. Sentinels need to make their way over and actually help out these Wraithguard. Not going to be enough to take down the Blood Crusher if the Blood Crusher just goes and ties them up. Banshees and Warlock could also try and attack this Blood Crusher, but they only have power melee. There is no heavy melee Exarch yet, although one is currently getting built. That Blood Crusher is definitely going down. Frag missiles are not what you need against Blood Crusher, and it actually does do some friendly fire damage. And there we go, do you see those crack missiles getting used? Blood Crusher is actually getting worshipped out there. Banshees do need to back away. In fact, the entire Eldar army does back away. The Blood Crusher will live and will get repaired up by some Nurgle worship. Blood Crusher is demonic, so it does actually benefit extra from worship. Does gain 10 health regen per second and an extra 3.5 per second since it is Nurgle worship as well. Stigma doing a very big push here, actually going to get control of the natural VP and the natural requisition, but red team are in control of the mid and contested points though for their sides or their other lanes. Dreadnought now making its way over, does have scouts and Techmarine for repair support. These scouts look like they are fully upgraded. They don't actually have the elite training, you can tell by the amount of health regen that they actually have. Right, don't think that they are. They could be, it could just be one model regen, that's why it looks so low. But Dreadnought, the Emperor's Wrath, or the Emperor's Fist, sorry, going to be a very hard counter to this very heavy melee composition here of Stigma. One Homgon squad does go down, Genestealers get away with one model. Lictor Alpha could also go down, he's taking a lot of range fire damage, does actually have the Corrosive Claws upgrade, and that Lictor Alpha I'd imagine would get repurchased given the amount of upgrades that he has got. Blood Crusher still going around, some Mark of Khorne CSM as well. IG does have a lot of units on the team, but his units are all kind of split around. You have, mainly in the Chimera, and that's why he is questioning now. Do actually have a bit of a setup here from Impregnable and Police King though, and it looks like they want to push against this VP and actually gain control of it, but red team are playing it very defensively here. Techmarine's also building a relay beacon as well, which is going to be very annoying to force them away from their VP with that relay beacon. They have the IG army coming out of that Chimera, they were loaded into that Chimera. The Lord Commissar is just coming in here though, and he will get forced away straight away against Blood Crusher and these Mark of Khorne CSM. That is just a regular flare, no Manticore strike there. Blood Crusher and these Mark of Khorne CSM going in very aggressively though. We do see the Blood Crusher roaring to force away all the units. Heretics coming in as well. Banshees are split all over the place as well. These Wraithguard trying to get focused down by his Mark of Khorne CSM, but the Warlock with the leap and with the special will be enough to force these Mark of Khorne to not chase them any further. You can see them retreating back, probably to the beacon. Some worship going down. I think this Blood Crusher will go down. 2 more missiles. I don't think the Blood Crusher's healed enough. Yep, it does go down, and Heretics are retreating away. The Warlock will probably see this beacon. Beacons are actually getting used here by the Chaos player. We do actually have a very big Blight Grenade hitting the Tyranid army and also the Eldar army as well. Dire Avengers did get wiped here. These Tyranids are trying to push in, but there's double Devastators and Havocs here. Fleshhook will pull away a single Devastator model, but Havocs are remaining set up here. Devastators also do get a reset up as well. These warriors are going to get forced away, and the Dreadnought is just in the back line wrecking havoc. Frag grenade from these scouts as well will do quite a lot of damage. These double sentinels might actually be able to kill that Dreadnought. They will be able to kill it. In fact, actually it's an executor, the last cannon, which gets the kill, and the Chimera goes down as well. All vehicles now for red team have gone down. The Blood Crusher, the Sentinel, not the Sentinel, the Chimera and the Dreadnought, and these frag missiles doing so much damage. These guardsmen really do need to retreat out of there before they actually die. These frag missiles doing so much damage. One guardsman squad does go down, the ones that are upgraded with the flamers. And Chaos is now back mid. VP does remain in control of red team, who are on a 2-to-1 cap. They are behind in VPs as well. 345 to 270 to play champions going forward. Probably to throw a Blight Grenade. No, he's actually going to go and res the Techmarine. But play champion does get knocked over by the Warlock with his leap, and I'm not sure if he'll be able to get a res. Mark of Khorne CSM going in alone will take some model losses here, I would imagine. Grenade going down onto the Plague Champion, or onto the Techmarine. Sorry, Plague Champion, where is he? He's still nearby in the area. Still wants a res on that Techmarine, but there's just so much range damage coming in here for blue team. It's going to be very difficult for Plague Champion to get a res. But red team have the benefit of actually controlling this VP, which means blue team needs to come to them. And we do actually have a flare going down. Flares don't actually affect P-Devs, but they do slightly, but not by the amount it affects Devastators or Havocs, for example. But still, these double frag missiles from the Sentinels doing so much damage. These Heretics are barely surviving here. They are reinforcing, but they do need to be careful not to stand so grouped up together, otherwise they will take so much damage. And we do actually have an incendiary shell coming down onto Impregnable's guardsman here, taking a lot of damage, but the Chimera here is actually allowing them to reinforce on the field. And looks like some Stormtroopers did die over here for PeterBlood. Some more Stormtroopers are in risk of dying here. They are retreating away. They might lose a couple of models to these Genestealers, and we have the melee Techmarine coming in here for old Smithy, the Bionics, and the Axe of Mechanicum as well, some Mark of Khorne CSM coming in as well. These Gene Stealers Warriors are running into an army by themselves. You need to be careful, these Warriors will take so much damage from the power melee of these Mark of Khorne CSM and the Techmarine. Also, Techmarine with the Barnocks as well does do quite a bit of damage. You can see a Barnocks on retreat, but it looks like it might have already been used, however. But we do actually have a push going on as well from mid. Looks like these Havocs are very close to dying. They might actually die at the beacon as well. Some Banshee's going to go in and tie up these last cannon Devastators. Wraith Lord with the Bright Lance cannon is actually going to stay at range. It's not actually going to force melee. It looks like it might force melee now. It's going to try and chase down that Chaos Dreadnought. Incendiary Shell as well onto the Guardsman of Impregnable, but the Chimera is pushed forward as well to allow these Guardsmen to reinforce. And we are just seeing losses everywhere. This Dreadnought is taking a lot of damage, but the Wraith Lord, is not actually able to chase any further. These Mark of Khorne CSM going to get forced away. Double Sentinel still in the field. Last cannon is firing away at this Wraith Lord once again. We do see the Wraith Bone upgrade trying to come in, but it's not actually going to come in time. This one Sentinel is getting very low as well. And that Wraith Lord will go down. This one Sentinel barely escaping out of there. It might actually go down to these Shotgun Scouts and Tactical Marines. They're trying to chase in here. You do see a knockback. Tyranids are now coming in though, and you do see the Space Marine having to back away. Both Sentinels will live, and the VP will get decapped, but still not belonging to anyone else, and everyone is retreating back to the beacon, and a Tyrannid formation is actually going to go down as well. The beacon goes down straight away there, stopping all units from reinforcing. These Tactical Marines extremely low at 50 HP, retreating away even further now. Another model will get knocked out by that Capillary Tower, and the Tactical Marines will live overall. A Lord General dropping down a turret as well to try and protect the center. The turret is not actually firing at anything. Could fire at these Sentinels and do quite a lot of damage though, but instead the turret needs to actually target something. When a turret does something like this, if it's not automatically attacking, you need to target. There you go, it targets some Guardsmen, but the turret will go down. These double Sentinel missile launchers are doing so much damage, so much AEV damage. But they will go down. Capillary Tower is also getting focused down by the remaining red forces on the field, and so many units have gone. Police King down to just Dire Avengers and Banshees, or Smithy down to Devastators, Tax and Scouts, and his Techmarine Dragon down to Heretics, CSM, Dreadnought, and Stigma down to Pomegons, Gene Stealers and Warriors. But we do have some tier 3 stuff coming in here. We have a Seer Council for Police King, we have a Neurophobe for Stigma, and tier 3 is getting purchased here by Dragon as well. Meanwhile, all Smithy and PeterBlood are also tier 3 as well, so we could see some tier 3 units come out of them. Meanwhile, Impregnable does hold the largest army here, or the most squads in total. Level 7 melee Techmarine, he is going to be such a beast in melee, but no Refractor Shield yet on him. Could see one of those come in soon. Some Catachins onto the side. There is an improvised explosive down here. Will do some decent damage to these Mark of Khorne CSM. Weren't quite standing on top of it, but we're standing close enough to actually get hit by it. Oh, and Reliable and Shotgun Blast going to do keep these Mark of Khorne CSM at bay before the Catachins are forced to melee them down, but they're now half health, so when they do fight in melee, the Catachins will stand a better chance. But when they do actually lose a model, these Mark of Khorne CSM will lose a model down as well. Old Smithy is going to save up for a Land Raider Redeemer, according to the chat. Yeah, a very nice choice and a good replacement for the beacon that was lost as well. Dragon thinks that they would have lost the game by then, but Smithy is pretty close to that Land Raider Redeemer, only 6 power away, so he'll be fine. They've got 160 VPs over there, are about to get triple caps, or actually they're not about to get triple caps, but it's still a 2-0 cap. Everything jumping onto that melee Techmarine, but a special there, and a Bionics coming in though. Gene Stealers though also getting knocked over as well by the Warrior Synapse going off. Warrior Synapse once again. This Techmarine is an absolute beast in melee. He is level 7. Lictor Alpha also trying to attack him as well. Techmarine does drain energy, power attack as well. And a Mark of Zinc Dreadnought as well, plus the supporting army of the IG as well coming in to actually have an Executioner getting purchased on that Lehman Russ. Which I'm surprised that he actually went for that. Although it'd be a good melee counter. If you can kite, the amount of splash damage it will do will actually come in quite handy. But I think that maybe keeping it standard for now would have been a better choice while fighting a multitude of army compositions across the map. But Lehman Russ now driving towards mid, they could actually do a joint push together now. Stormtroopers going in could actually cap while stealthed or while infiltrated Seer Council, and the Warlock though might decide to jump in. We do actually have a rocket run about to go down here. Actually, it's not even a rocket run, it's just a creeping basilisk barrage. But he's actually doing a lot of work right now. The Warlock will go down if he's not careful. This looks like it could be a rocket run though. And it is a rocket run. It is a very painful rocket run as well. Taking down some tactical marines, taking down some guardsmen. Tactical marines will actually live. The Lehman Russ does take quite a lot of damage. Sea Counts are still in the field here. They are by themselves, so they do actually retreat back to base. Double Sentinels are mid, but they do actually need some repairs. Markazine Dreadnought will actually take quite a lot of damage, but the Sentinels could also take quite a lot of damage from that Markazine Dreadnought, since the Storm Bolts will also hurt, along with the missiles as well. We do actually have a barrage going down onto these guardsmen as well, which will suppress them. Lord General does get pulled in there by the Flesh Hook of the Lictor Alpha. The Lord General will probably go down. Look at the amount of melee there, and the Warriors leaping in as well. It's going to confirm that kill. Soul Cannon Dreadnought, sorry, not the Soul Cannon Dreadnought, is actually the Land Raider Redeemer. Fist of Brockers though for Impregnable Nunshot 4 is activated. All these guardsmen will carry on living. Marker Corn CSM about to come in. He's focused down that Lord Commissar if you actually want to kill any of these guardsmen, otherwise all the guardsmen will be alive out on no health whatsoever. Orbital Bombardment though going to go down. You see a retreat though, but it is actually going to catch out all the units here. And I don't think that Nunshot 4 is going to last that long. Double zones and a Neurophrobe though for Stigma. A very annoying composition to fight. All these guardsmen are so low. But it looks like the guardsmen will actually be able to get away there. Do actually have a Noxious Cloud on that Neurophrobe, but it's not actually doing much damage to a Neurophrobe. And we do see the Neurophrobes and zones actually going to be backing away here. Meanwhile, this Land Raider Redeemer is just going to act as a base of operations for Red Team. Did actually have a decap over here by some scouts of old Smithy. His scouts did live though, and some more Catachin IEDs getting placed onto the ground, and Catachins just going to sit on that left hand side. They are detectors as well, so scouts can't actually stealthily cap that with the Catachins being there, but the Plate Champion is making his way there, actually replacing that Blight Grenade with the Mucus Discharge, and also gaining Armor Pestilence, so he is extremely tanky as well. You have a Spot Shell going down onto the VP, nothing close by for it to hit. Not even sure who it came from. It came from PeterBlood. He does actually have the upgraded spotters as well with the tier 3 upgrade. Still kind of curious as to why he cast it on nothing. The improvised explosive does go down. A grenade does go down as well. Won't knock over the Plate Champion. That Armor of Pestilence giving him immunity to knockback. But the Techmarine coming in with some tactical marines. A small little strike force here. And some drop pod coming in. Actually a Venerable Dreadnought as well from the Techmarine. And they will definitely be able to push here. Dire Avengers taking a few losses here. Venerable Dreadnought already gained a decent chunk of XP just from 2 Dire Avengers dying. But Eldar do have a webway gate here and will come in for a flank. The Vendread though is a bit uncontested right now. There is the last cannon actually though, and Vendread is actually charging out of there. Heavy Weapons team is forcing that off. Tactical Marines and Techmarine also backing away, presumably back to Land Raider. But the Sentinels might actually chase down this Venerable Dreadnought. It's only got 600 HP. Blessing of the Omnissiah could be available, but I don't know if he actually has enough red for it right now. Capillary Tower going down, going to buff all the nids in this area. Double Sentinel still trying to chase down this Venerable Dreadnought Banshee with the heavy melee Executioner. And Vendread could go down, could go into Stoicism. Frag Assault, no, the Frag Assault does so much damage to this melee army. Actually destroys these Banshees and Homogons, but the Dreadnought now in Stoicism mode is going to go down after a short amount of time. This Land Raider Redeemer though is taking so much damage. 83 VPs to 82. The game is evenly matched right now, but the losses here are getting quite huge. We even have an Imperial Abyss going down. The Sentinels are getting caught out, but the Sentinels will be fine. Guardsmen are retreating through it, and Guardsmen will be able to barely pull out of there. The Lictor Alpha also gets pulled in as well. We do actually have an Immolate going down. We're going to burn down some Guardsmen. Guardsmen do get away with 17 HP, but the Warlock is going to force melee onto him now. Manticore is also moving forward. Doesn't need to be careful. There is Venom Cannon Can't effects here. And Bioplasma does go down onto that, but the Venom Cannon Can't effects will kill this Manticore by the looks of it. It might go down before, but no, the Manticore will go down first, and a Flare is actually going to try and protect this Dreadnought as well. It's actually going to protect, sorry, the Can't effects, but the Can't effects will still go down nonetheless. Lictor Alpha could also go down here. These Marker Corn CSM, but Nunshot Full is activated, so the Lictor Alpha will actually be fine. But Nunshot Full does not affect Can't effects since it is a vehicle, but this Lord Commissar is taking so much damage though. Sentinels do also need to be careful. That Lord Commissar will definitely go down. Stomp does go down, but it does actually miss. Plate Champion is now capping. He is on quite a lot of health. Can also use the Pestilence Strike to reduce incoming range damage by 90%. The Avatar pushing it forward as well. Avatar providing a lot of support to the Seer Council, extra damage and damage resistance. Seer Council doing so much damage will actually wipe a last cannon Devastator squad. Now Heretics fighting the Seer Council, sorry, they would lose to the Seer Council. Seer Council will actually beat everything on the field right now. They do get a second wipe. Level 2 do actually have a creeping barrage getting used, but it's not actually going to force away that Sentinel. Spotters do go down. These Seer Council doing so much work. Level 3 now after the Lord General as well. That Lord General on 700 HP is level 5 as well. And Seer Council decides to back away, and Lictor Alpha is addressing the Lord Commissar as well. We do have a sneaky cap on the left hand side, but these stealthy scouts, the Catachins, are no more apparently. So they will be able to cap there without any detection. Manticore is driving forward for a piece of blood. What is he doing? He needs to get rid of this Manticore, he needs to move it back to base. The Warriors and the Gene Stealers, both with their heavy melee upgrades, are actually focusing down this Markov's Dreadnought. This Manticore is definitely going to go down. There's no way it's going to be able to get out there safely. But the double zone's pushing forward. In fact, double focus Warp Blast would actually be enough to really damage the Predators, also in risk of taking a lot of damage here. But it'll get away. The Manticore is still very far forward though. The Avatar could just attack it, but a last cannon from Impregnable is going to be what kills this Manticore. Seer Council back on the field. Warlock is also here as well. Warlock actually gaining a lot of upgrades. Cloak of Shadows and Heart of Darkness. Cloak of Shadows is actually bugged right now, and people shouldn't really be using it, but maybe he is not familiar with that. But Seer Council is pushing forward. Currently it gives too much damage resistance and actually makes units invincible against ranged damage. You can see that Seer Council were not taking any damage from Cloak of Shadows just then. The double Sentinel still alive throughout the entire game, both level 4 as well. Doing a lot of damage, but do need to be careful as they are actually quite low. 46 VPs to 57. Another Land Raider Redeemer though coming in, and we do actually have a nuke going down. It's going to catch out 2 zone tropes. These zones will be fine. We'll have an attempted cap from these Tactical Marines onto that VP. Well, the VP still remaining red. Red team on a 2-to-1 cap. Blue team really do need to actually get a cap, and they are capping with the Lictor Alpha hit. But Land Raider Redeemer is pushing up way forward. The Manticore, another Manticore will go down. That's the third Manticore. That's gone a bit too far. These Manticores very brave here for a red team, but Manticore is definitely not a frontline unit. This Land Raider Redeemer will also go down. Red team are throwing absolutely everything here to try and stop this cap, and it's not going to be enough. That Land Raider Redeemer will go down. Red team are down to nearly nothing. Meanwhile, Stigma does actually rock the biggest army here with the double zones, the Neurothroat, the Carnifex, the Venom Brood, the Gene Stealers, and Lictor Alpha, and possibly more since the UI only shows so much. These scouts are going to be backing away. We do actually have some mines on the ground. And GG is getting called. 30 VPs to 48. I don't think red team has enough to cap anything right now. Blue team just needs to spread out their forces, protect both VPs, and defend, and they will slowly bleed the VPs of red team. Some salts in the chat right now to finish off this game. It feels like everyone has actually given up on this game as it is, and players are not really doing much to actually push. 2 Predators though for Dragon, though the Chaos Predators don't actually have any armor upgrade whatsoever, so they are only go up to 700 HP. Have some Tactical Marines and Techmarine making a little bit of a push over here. Last ditch attempt. A drop pod coming in, could be another Venerable Dread or Terminators. Looks like it will be a Venerable Dread. Tactical Marine's going to go down. In fact, it's actually just a Tactical Marine drop pod. Doesn't look like Smithy actually had enough for a Venerable Dreadnought or a Terminator squad to actually have a nuke coming in here as well, but it looks like the majority of the forces do get out of there in time. Plague Champion is actually still stuck in here, but with his Armor of Pestilence and Plague Fist, he is actually fine. To have the Marker Corn CSM getting caught out there, but it's game anyway, and it looks like players actually gave up before the game properly ended anyways. But that is game. Blue team will be victorious.